if the ads for your clinic have hit the shitter, ad costs are going up, return is dropping, lead volume is just dwindling, and the quality of your leads is just causing you to bang your head against the wall. Listen, it's not your fault. Meta has moved the goal. They've changed the algorithm, and likely your agency was completely unaware of this, which is a problem. You need to ask some damn questions. They have some explaining to do. It's not necessarily the offer. It is definitely the algorithm, and it's very much the structure of your ads. And so the things that I'm going to share with you in this video for the next 10 to 15 minutes are likely to help you get dramatic return and improve the probability of the results from what you're currently doing. And I'm excited to share with you because this right here, once I started deploying this, we started seeing better results for our clients. Now, who am I? My name is John Cameron Johnson. I'm the founder of a company called Etho. We built a AI tool, an AI marketing team that you can install in your business called Olympus. And what this does is it replaces your entire agency, and it's baked with $41 million of verifiable results since 2020, end of 2023, FTC compliance here, with a average return per client of $417,000 and change. I can get the exact number for you. Not making any income claims, not claiming that'll be the results for you. I'm simply stating that the things I'm going to share with you are based off of millions of dollars of ad spend. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the big thing that happened, it was called Andromeda. Now, if you've seen this, you can look it up. This has been around for a while. Now, what ended up happening is there's two places. There is, and you're likely not to be aware of these. So there's the newsroom for Facebook, and then there's the developer newsroom for Facebook, and this is our facebook.com. You can go find them. I think it's developers, facebook.com. And when you go there, they explain what they're going to be rolling out from an algorithm perspective. Now, if you see it in the newsroom, you typically have about 3 to 6 months before it deploys. If you see it in the developer section, the engineering section, it's imminent. It's within the next 30 to 45 days. Now, what the hell is Andromeda? Andromeda is a distribution algorithm. Okay. Now, why did they do this? Why? Why is this important for you to know? Well, as a practitioner, if you're not aligned with the rules of the platform that you're running ads on, if you're deploying, trying to get patients from there, you're paying money, you're spending thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars inside of that platform to try to generate traffic and ultimately results for your clinic or your multiple clinics, you're going to have a problem if you're not aware of the rules of the game. And specifically, if you're using an agency, they need to be aware of the rules of the game. And if they're not, well, you need to put them on notice. So, what is the rules? There's 3 core tenets that Meta, Facebook, Instagram, Threads are trying to do. Okay, first thing that they give a damn about is user experience. Why does this matter? Why is user experience paramount? Well, because without users, there's nothing to there's nobody to advertise to. So they give a shit about this the most. This is the thing that they consider their North Star. Now, what's second? Well, so Meta, aka Meta, Facebook, Instagram, IG, making money, right? They need to make revenue, of course. And then third, you making money, advertiser make money. That's the third thing they care about. As you can see, this thing matters most. So how are they trying to keep this growing and continue to improve this? Well, they created a new algorithm called Andromeda. So now that I've explained what the rules of the game are, let me go and explain how to solve this problem. Why does this matter? Now, in the old way, what you would do, and I actually want to explain how the algorithm is first. Let me just go and jump into that. So I want you to imagine this is your market, right? This is the patient market for whatever you do, whether it's neuropathy, IBS, autoimmune disease, chronic illness, pain, back pain, knee pain. It does not matter. I want you to imagine that you are a fisherman right now. If maybe you like fishing, maybe you don't. Well, the thing is, inside of this space here, right, there's fish, aka your market. So let's go ahead and draw this up real quick. Now, inside of this space, there's going to be pockets. There's going to be pockets in here that are where the fish live, and I'm going to represent that in green. Okay, so this is where they're swimming, right? So you're going to cast lines. And This is called pocket theory. This is the term. I'm not going to get into that, but basically, as you run ads to a marketplace, whether your marketplace is large or small, inside of that market, there's going to be people that are ready to buy, and there's people that are not ready to buy. There's going to be people that are going to be able to acquire at a good price. There's people that you're not going to be able to acquire at a good price, and lots of times that are different buying continuum. Some people are ready, more closer to being to the primed state. Some have already purchased a solution, and until they become unhappy with that solution, they're not going to be ready to buy, and people who are needing more information before they can purchase, right? So it's a flux. Now, what ends up happening is in these pockets, when you run ads, what ends up happening is you're trying to cast lines in here and find the winning thing. This is why sometimes you cast your line in this lake, if you imagine, where the fish are, and you collect garbage. And the reason being is because the way your campaign or the way your ads are set up, or the lack of ads that you're running, is causing this issue. And so the rules of the game have changed. It used to be where you could do this. Let me go and kind of represent this with some boxes here. In the old way, it was what's called horizontal scaling. Okay? Horizontal scaling. Meaning, if you wanted to grow your business at let's just give a nice round number, nice easy number. Let's say you're at $100 a day. Okay, and we're going to represent this with a box. Okay, cool. What you would do is you would say, cool, instead of increasing the $100 a day, what you would do is you just duplicate the ads inside of, and I'm not going to get into the structure, but let's just say you duplicated it 4 times. Let's say I want to get it to $500 a day. What would happen is you would have this right here being successful, and what would happen is maybe you got lucky and you got one other one to have ROI, maybe 2 if you were really lucky. Now the other 2, they're trash. They didn't do anything. Why? Because you ended up casting lines. Maybe you had a line go there, maybe you had a line go there, maybe you had a line go here, here, and here. Maybe those lines, as you fished, you found some winners. Now, what ended up happening is that made it very challenging. Most people didn't know this. They couldn't just increase their budget. If you increased your budget on the ad, it typically flatlined, or you saw the results drop off precipitously, and that's not good. So what they've done now, they've changed it to what's called vertical scaling. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Well, instead of you doing something like this, instead of if you go like this and you horizontally scale, they're going to punish you. You're going to be punished for horizontally scaling. Instead, what they want you to do is they want you to vertically scale. So they want you to increase this to 500 as an example and let it run its course. And you can increase till you hit a cap. Let's say your cap in your marketplace based off your location is $350 a day. Beautiful. Then you cap it there, you drop it down, and then you sit it right at 350. Okay, now you're spending the maximum amount of money for that campaign. Now, the reason this is important is they've changed the way you need to install ads into your marketplace, into your account, which creates a quote-unquote credit score that you're likely not aware of, and they haven't told you that, nor will they tell you that. But the way it needs to be, and most people are not aware of this, is you have your campaign. So you can call it whatever the heck you want. Doesn't really matter there. So campaign is, think of like top level folder. Then there's the subfolders, which are called ad sets. Okay. And so you might have a few of these. And the way I would show you how to build it out, if you worked with us, we would have you build a few. So you have a couple of these, and then inside of those, you have the ads. Okay, and you have a bunch of those. Okay, it's just a set of folders. That's what it is. Now, in the old way, you would probably put 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 ads in this bucket. Probably closer to 1. The way we would do it is we would duplicate ad sets, a bunch of them. You'd have a bunch of these ad sets, $10 a day, and you'd have 50 of them, right? It'd be like a tremendous amount. And so this horizontal scaling allowed for you to get maximum distribution, or what you thought was the best way to get distribution. That's the old way of doing it. That is now the wrong way, and you will be punished for doing so. You'll end up inflating your cost unnecessarily. You'll end up basically auctioning against yourself, and that ultimately causes problems for you, causing you to inflate your costs. You get less results, and now you're frustrated. So what they want you to do instead, the new way, is this. Okay? Here's what I would have you do. I would have you build a couple audiences. Go broad, and I'll explain what these all mean. Okay? I'll explain what that is in a second. Lookalike audience. And then I would also do interest. Okay, so what are these three things? So you would go broad, meaning you're just targeting your location and the age range that makes sense for your offer and what you're delivering to the marketplace for your patients. Lookalike, if you have pre-existing data, your agency should know what a lookalike audience is. If they do not know what a lookalike audience is, you need to fire them immediately. So lookalike audiences, let me explain what it is. You've taken a set of data that you have, let's say a list of people who have shown up for consults. It could be people who've started, ideally. It could be people who've opted in and put their information into your thing, but maybe didn't take actions. But you have data. Maybe it's people who visited your website, and it has to be utilizing the meta tracking information. And there's about 330 million people, but I think on the platform it's 290, so 290 million people. What you ask Facebook and Instagram to do, so Meta, what you ask it to do is say, hey, build me 1%, what's called a 1% affinity or 1% lookalike to the data that I'm uploading for you. And so out of the 290 million people, you're going to get an audience of 2.9 million people that look like adjacent to the data, all the data points that you upload, like the name, the email, the phone number, any location data, et cetera, et cetera. It will create an audience of 2.9 million. Now, you may not have 2.9 million people in your audience, in your location. So it will get cut down even further. So let's say you live in a 100,000 person location. Let's say it's a kind of a smaller city, right? This might only be 25,000 people. It might be 50,000 people that fit the bill on that. And because of that, your targeting pool becomes smaller, which is why they ask you to say, let's go broad. Now, it has you do that because the more constraints that you try to target inside of the platform, the worse the performance is going to be. They are now punishing people for trying to add a bunch of different hoops. Interest. Let me go and get to interest. Lookalike was the data upload. Interest is saying like health and fitness. Maybe your audience is more conservative. Maybe they're more, they love faith. Maybe they're someone who likes to go hunting. I don't know, right? Maybe they're elderly. So maybe there's interest in golf as an example. And you run your ads to these ad sets, these different types of audiences. Okay. So having three of them. And if you don't have this, don't worry about it. You can X that out. You just have your broad and you have your interest-based targeting. So that is how you run a campaign, or that's how you build the campaign. Now, what goes inside of each of these folders? The ads. Now, what they want is 20 to 30 ads in each of those. Okay, that sounds like a shit ton. Yes, it is. Welcome to cold paid traffic. What they want now, what we used to do. Let me explain how we used to do it. So there's something called advertising copy. Okay, so copywriting, which is your hooks, the titles of videos, likely this video as well, the words that you see inside of the ads. That's called copywriting. And the idea of copywriting is to get people to buy things through written word or voice. Right? You're trying to write a set of words that gets people to take action. Now, the thing here is we're trying to create 20 to 30 unique reasons why someone should buy your offer. So, for example, if you have a neuropathy offer, you have an autoimmune offer, you have an IBS offer, there is going to be 20 to 30 reasons why someone should buy that thing. You can easily use AI to help you with that process, right? You can walk through that. Where you're going to get that information is from your consults, right? Think through the consults that you've had and conversations you've had with patients. List out those things. Jog your memory and think through the 20 to 30 things, the reasons why someone would purchase this. And it could be not just the fact that they're going to get a first order benefit, right? First order benefit getting rid of pain, right? Rid of pain. That would be the first thing. Maybe second order is an emotional thing, right? It's an emotional thing like, they don't want to feel like a burden or dependent on anyone. Right. So they don't want any of that stuff. Or maybe the third order is, creating memories, right? And mobility, because now they're able to do stuff, right? They feel freedom. Fourth order could be, their spouse, right? What does their spouse, think of them and how they're handling the situation? Or maybe, like I said, it could be just, freedom. We don't know what the emotional trigger. So there's multiple reasons. I mean, this is just 4, but you could probably come up with different angles, different variations of the reason why someone would want to purchase this. Now, in the old way, what we would do is if you had the copywriting, it would look like this. I'm just going to go and show you the structure. And this would be, let's say, I'm going to put hook and body. Okay. Just want you to think of it as 2 parts. And so what we would do is we would create, let's say, 10 hooks and 10 bodies. And now you have 100 variations. Nowadays, you get punished for doing that. So if your agency is doing this, put them on notice. You're not supposed to do that. What they want is 20 to 30 unique reasons, copywriting, top to bottom, in the messaging that is unique to your thing. The targeting nowadays, what Andromeda does is it chooses who to target based off the words that are in your ad. It scrapes your ad. It reads whatever videos you upload, the image, the words. It's extremely intelligent. Now, it's a $1 trillion company. They have pretty good AIs. If you're not getting the results you want, it's likely you have a misalignment between your copy and the creative, or your copy creative, and then the place you're sending them. And there's a mismatch on what the words all say, and you're not getting enough throughput because the pipe is kinked somewhere and there's a bottleneck. Once again, I don't know your current situation, so I wouldn't be able to analyze that without knowing further detail. But all advertising is a pipeline from the click all the way to the close of that person starting care. There's a pipeline. It's stages. And so as you go through each stage, you get attrition. And how do you minimize attrition? You do your best to create a lubrication or a frictionless experience while still providing certain levels of friction that are necessary to ensure quality, right? So there's a harmony there. And I'm not going to get into that in this video. And so what you would need in this instance is you would need this campaign. I'm going to redraw it. Campaign, and then the ad sets like this, and then your 20 to 30 ads like that. This is a lot of work, yes, but if you ads have never worked before and you're wanting your ads to work today, this is what is required, not what makes you feel good. And so what's going to happen? You're going to spend money. I don't know. Let's say you spend $300 a day, or let's say you spend $100 a day. It doesn't really matter. Okay? What's going to happen is you're going to get distribution across these ads. What is the most probable is 1, I'm going to go and put some different colors here, 1 to, let's say, 3 are going to get all the distribution. They're going to get all the ad spend. They're going to get all the budget, depending on how much money you have spending towards these on a daily basis. And that 1 to 3 per ad set, if you like the results coming in, people are flowing through, people are booking calls, booking consults, opting in, and it's at a decent price. Once again, I can get into how we set that up on a different video and how knowing how much price, what's the price of each of these things that needs to be. But 1 to 3 are going to get results. And so what ends up happening is you go, well, shit, I just made all these different angles, all these different ads, all these different reasons why someone should buy. Do not worry. We're going to come to that in a second. So you're going to go ahead and scale these. Have your agency or you scale and increase the budget of these, and increase it, I would say 50% each day, to whatever your risk tolerance is. I think 50% isn't unreasonable. I've done 200% and 300% in a single day, depending on how aggressive I was in that particular advertising campaign. But you'll take, let's say, a $50 a day campaign and boost it to $75, right? And then the next day, maybe bump it up to 100, right? That's not exactly 50%, but you get my point. And so you bump it up each day until you stop seeing a good cost per result. And you still got to let it air out, right? Maybe you got to give it a few days. Maybe you don't have to increase it every single day. You can increase it every other day, but you need to continue to bump it up until you hit a ceiling. And as soon as you hit that ceiling, go, okay, let me bump it up a little bit more. Let me test it. Let me add a little bit more budget. And if you still see bad results, bump it back down until you hit a nice equilibrium. And you're like, okay, cool. I can spend $200 a day on this particular ad set. Right? Now, what happens here? Now that you hit this cap, amazing. This is what we want to do. So now we find the winner. So let's say we found the 1 to 3 winners here. And we go, all right, so I'm going to take this campaign. Oops. Campaign, the ad set with the winner, right? Where's our yellow here? We don't really have a yellow in here. Let me get a yellow. So this is the winner. We have a winner right there. And this has, let's say it's got 2 winning ads. It's got 2 winners in here. And remember, we have 28. Well, and they're not even losers. It's not even fair. They're just non-starters because these 2 got all the money. They got fed. What we're going to do is you're going to take this thing that's still running, right? You're still pumping cash into this guy, and then you're going to go, okay, copy and paste it. Right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to copy paste it. We're going to do this. We're going to duplicate it. Now you have another version. Now, but the thing is, it already has the winning ads in here. So what you have to do is you need to pull these out. We're gonna kill them, get rid of them. Now you have 28 other ads that are in here that have not been tested. Okay, so now this is all connected, and you have 20 other ads that you already recorded, right? So you've already made them. Now you get to test these, and ideally you would backfill them with 2 more. Right, 2 more ads that you now get it back up to 30. And guess what you do? You run the play again. You spend the money. You see which ads win. Okay, cool. Ideally, we get, 1 to 3 ads. Crush it. They do a good job. They win. And then you repeat the process over and over. And in the audience that's broad, in the audience that's a lookalike, and the audience of interest. And whatever one wins, you just keep the play rolling. You just keep duplicating, pulling out the winner from the duplicate, backfilling it up, run it again. And you keep running this play over and over and over till you get to multiple $1,000s a day. This is how you scale in today's game. They want simplicity in the ad account. So the whole point is this: simplicity. That's what they want. If you install your ads any differently than the way I just explained to you, they're going to punish you. They're going to punish your ad account, and you're going to have a negative sentiment, negative bias that you're going to send signals to Meta that you don't know what you're doing, and they're going to punish your traffic. They're going to cause the cost to go up, your impressions to go down, the lead flow to go down. They're not going to be nice to you. And so my suggestion is, if you're working with an agency or consultancy, you don't have to send them this video. I don't really care if you do or not, but you need to have them do this. They need to deploy this within their account. Now, this right here is the game that we're playing today. And I've learned this through testing and learned this from mentorship as I've started to actually understand why this is the case. It makes complete sense. They want to make it easy for agents or media buyers, right? People who do the actual advertising to get better results and remove a lot of the try to karate chop, kung fu their way to getting results. There's no way to trick the algorithm. This is $1 trillion company. Know what the hell they're doing. Their algorithms can't really be tricked. And so what I'm suggesting here is either you tell your agency to do this, have them watch this video, deploy it, or you can come in with us, and like I said, we have a tool called Olympus. I'll show it to you really quick. So Olympus right here is this is a tool of ours. Let me go and share it with you. Let me go and zoom out a little bit. Beautiful. It's a AI media buying or AI advertising agency. Basically, what it is it's a growth technology you install. It's not an agency, but you install this AI marketing department in your practice, and it will do it for you. It installs it for you. It does the advertising for you. It runs your traffic on autopilot. It will make decisions it will tell you, hey, this is what you should do next. It will say, hey, we need to write new ads. We need to, we need to make some new creatives. And then you can say, hey, do you want me to go ahead and do that for you? Get it prepped for you. And it will do so. It's AI without the prompting, which is pretty sweet. What we realize is that a lot of people they wanted the custom work, but they want it fast. And unfortunately, you can't really do both at the same time. You have to make trade-offs. So if that is something that of interest to you, like I said, there'll be a link. There'll be a link for you underneath this video. You can go check it out. Check out Olympus. If that is something you want from us, go and book a call. If not, hey, cool. Hope this was helpful for you so you can be really clear. So in a nutshell, the game has changed. The rules have changed. You need to install ads and campaigns differently. It is not the same old where you're trying 1 or 2 ads. You need to have volume, and you're going to use that volume and create multiple reasons why someone should buy your thing. And as you create this unique reason why people want to buy your thing, you're able to scale by putting your ads out there, finding the winner, letting it do its thing. Don't delete anything you've already created, just duplicating it out, pulling the winner out, and then running the rest of the ads that did not get any distribution. And then you keep running this until you get, whatever 7-figure, 8-figure practice you want. So anyway, that's the crux of the lesson. So I hope this was helpful for you. Look forward to having a conversation with you if you are someone who's interested in Olympus. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.